the other day, there was a student that was killed at Bartram High. Now, Philly officials are now trying to roll out a new plan to address the gun violence epidemic after the student was killed. So many Southwest Philly residents and city leaders are demanding to end the gun violence. Follows a deadly shooting of a high school senior just feet from the school. And it's a straight up epidemic over in Philly. I mean, the block is hot no matter what. And multiple departments are trying to join forces to roll out new strategies. It's constant. Our kids are just dying every single day, Dr. Melina Williams said. Neighbors near Southwest Philly's latest deadly shooting are concerned for the youth because the 17-year-old named Christopher Braxton was shot to death after leaving Bartram High Wednesday afternoon. And this 12th grader was the fourth public student shot while traveling to or from school since October. And Councilman Kenyatta Johnson said, we want to make sure that we address conflict resolution and, most importantly, the issue of trauma because hurt people hurt people. So we're going to get right into this GPS. Of course, you know, you have your son who just graduated high school and everything like that. So, you know, it's got to make sure that these kids are safe.
My son just graduated. He just got his car, and all he understands is get up, hang out with your friends, drive around the street with your friends, and then come home and rest. And then get up and repeat that for days on end until you have to actually go to a job. Well, then you do that. But then once you get done with that job, you go hang out with your friends, you run around the street, and then you repeat the process again until you go back to the job.
Mm-hmm.
As a parent of a teenager, you know, almost at the end, it's still a worry for me. Because where are you? Every time I hear something or think about something or this storm that just passed, you know, son, where you at? What you doing? Mind you, I done called him about 5 times, sent him about 5 text messages, haven't heard anything from him. Now he doesn't think I'm going. He does not think I'm not going to go down to his house and see if his car is there. But as soon as I see him, we're going to have a very intimate conversation. Nigga, where you been? The fuck is going on?
Facts.
I'm paying insurance on that car. You ain't answering the fucking phone. You could be upside down upside down 90 fucking 5. I don't know what you're doing. What the hell is going on?
It's called a girlfriend, man.
Wow.
I understand, there you go. And that's true. That's true. So,
facts.
You know, girlfriend, boyfriend, because we're talking 2022.
How you doing?
I don't know, but yo, answer the goddamn phone before I cut the bill off, and I'm not playing with you.
There you go. That's just normal parenting life. So, Marsha, would you co-sign on that?
All right. So,
she's still shocked from from everything.
Ooh, that nigga nice, boy.
See, that's why we have our advisory sticker on Apple Podcast.
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
So, I had some personal things happen that I won't discuss, but I will say that, you know, as a parent, we always want to do better for our children than what we had. That's what we try to strive to do.
100%.
But I'm starting to think that we shouldn't do that. I think that they need to struggle like we did. I mean, not that we struggled because my mother gave me everything I wanted, but they need to learn the value of what they have. I think they're becoming too complacent, too privileged, and it's our fault. Okay. So I'm depressed that our children can't go to school. Dawn's a teacher too. She teaches in the DC school system, in high school.
Nice.
And awesome. I'm sure she can elaborate, but I think that I don't know if we're failing the children or the children are failing themselves, but something has to change. If you can't go to school to get an education, you know, without having all this drama, and I agree. We have a son who's a teenager. He's 19, and you know, their cars are their world. But things have to change because if we don't change them, the generation that comes from them is going to be doomed.
Interesting point right there. So Cortez, obviously we have two teachers among us here this afternoon. So you definitely can give us an angle on what you're seeing, because you're on the front lines and seeing all these kids and seeing their behaviors from good to bad. So speak on it, Cortez.
I guess my years of teaching, one thing that really sticks out to me is raising your kids. You know, the job that I'm at, I can tell who's raising their kids right and who's not raising their kids right, man. Some of these parents want to be friends, and I'm like, you can't be a child's friend. You gotta step in and put your foot down sometimes. I had a discussion with my class. I was like, I don't understand you guys. If mommy takes away your cell phone, you have a temper tantrum. I told them up front, I was like, y'all need to knuckle up. Because we didn't have no cell phones back there.
That's right.
If you got your cell phone taken away for a reason, deal with it and make sure you don't make the same mistakes over and over again. So I mean, my parents got to step their game up in some of these situations. Now, if you are in that situation where you don't have no control over your kid, then you might want to go get some outside help. It's okay to say, look, I'm having issues with this. I need somebody to sit down and talk with, because my child is out here doing A+ and Z. So I mean, to me, GPS said it starts at home. It really starts at home from the crib on up.
There you go. That's true. And worst case scenario, and Cortez has been witness to this, if they kind of cut up in class, sometimes his other side comes out.
Yeah, El Diablo Negro Loco.
Yeah, that's right.
I told those
right.
kids that.
That's true.
I told them, I was like, you know what that means? I was like, crazy black devil. Because I was like, I ain't going to take your stuff. I ain't going to deal with that. And it's funny because they sit up there and they put a front on in front of their classmates. But when you pick that phone up and call that house up, they bitch out real quick. It's like they realize, like, man, I'm in some hot water right now. Because if Miss ever calls my house, my mom is not going to want to negotiate. She's going to deal with me. So, I mean, yeah, it's that relationship between parents and educators that we really need to redevelop again. We really need to find those connections, because I tell every parent, we are a team. You and I are on a team together. We are a team, your child, and in order for this to work, we got to be on the same page with everything. So, I'm an advocate. I tell my parents, I was like, look, we're doing this together. It's not me against you.
That's right.
It's us helping your kid get to the next level.
Absolutely.
So are you saying that it probably isn't always the parent then? Because if you're going to call home and the parents, like, look, I don't play that mess. So where are they learning this behavior? Because it's detrimental to our society.
It could be a number of ways. Music and culture, the way the culture is. Because sometimes they see negative as being positive, and it's like it's negative gets more attention than the positive does. And I try to tell my kids, I say, look, we need to stop focusing on this negative stuff. We need to look and see the positivity. Like I was going over something with them yesterday about positive kids in the communities that's out here doing stuff, and they didn't know any of these kids' names at all. The ones that I showcase, I show videos about some of the things they're doing in communities and everything, the art community and music community and everything. They didn't know any of those kids. But when I show some of these little gangster ignorant rappers out here, they knew who they were. They were like, yeah, I know who that is. He got shot or he did time. And I'm looking like, that's all y'all see. That's all you know. It's actually young folk out here your age is doing positive things in the community, but you guys look down on them because you think being positive is nerdy or uncool, and that I don't know what happened with that. I mean, I don't know what happened. It's like if you're a nerd, you're at the bottom of the totem. But if you're a street thug with an ankle bracelet on, a tattoo on your neck,
you got credit.
You get credit. And I'm like, that don't make any sense. But that's how these young minds think. They want to be down with the negative, and it's really a shame.
Now, as a teacher in the DMV, have you seen that within your classes or within your district?
So basically, I definitely have to concur that you see it, and it actually becomes a thing of if you are in the spotlight for doing something wrong, then that's good for you. It's like a rite of passage, basically. So if you haven't been arrested, or if you're not in the system some kind of way, then you're looked at wrong in a school building.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, it's a hard occupation. It's a hard occupation. People really don't appreciate the teachers like we should.